A little housekeeping first. There will be some time after the presentation for some live Q&A. So if something comes to mind during the next 20 minutes or so, a question for Catherine or for me, jot it down in the chat, and Catherine and I will do our best to address that at the end of our talk.
You forgot my introduction.
Oh yes, and without further ado.
Hi, my name is Roxy Sewell.
Also known as Roxy Sewell. So it is my intention today to share with you some insights based on my experiences working with unreliable bodies here at the Hirsch Academy, as well as strategies that Catherine and I have figured out over the years, which have enabled her to dig deeper for more reliable expression. I do want to note that all the slides with text in all caps are Catherine's words, which she spelled on a low-tech letterboard. The only edits I've made are to punctuation and capitalization. All right, so let's get to it. Catherine had some opening remarks she wanted to share with you all. I'm trying to make this little poll go away. All right. Catherine, would you like to read the opening remarks?
I would love to read it as Roxy. Would love to.
All right. Here we go.
Would you tell me what it is? Really would like someone who really didn't know me before a presentation to know me now, understand me, and my peers, and a new set of eyes, and an open mind.
She also wanted to add this.
Do not hold against me the words that come out of my mouth in a script, and I cannot help it.
Okay. So, I'm going to tell you a little story about how this all came to be. So when I got this wild idea for this presentation, I knew it was imperative that I co-present with an autistic self-advocate. So as it is never cool to talk about them without them. So I scoured a list of students, my friends, and my daughter, of course, was on the list, but I quickly put her in the no pile because I was like, oh, Catherine is so unreliable. And then I was like, okay, duh, my bad. So fast forward, Kat and I start to collaborate. And I had at this point already in place this brilliant idea that I was going to explore the word unreliable, and its connotations. So I asked 20 neurotypical individuals, as well as 20 neurodiverse individuals, and these were male, female, different races and ethnicities, all ages. The youngest was 6 years old, and the oldest was 81 years old. This question. What is the first thing that pops into your head? Don't think about it too much, just one word or very short phrase. When I say the word unreliable. So here is a sampling of the neurotypicals' responses. Untrustworthy, flaky, big question mark, can't be counted on, liar, lacking a sense of responsibility, not worth the time. And here's a sampling of the neurodiverse children and adults' responses. Vacillating, can't count on it, which is different, Catherine was quick to point out, than can't be counted on. Fickle.
Fickle is my.
Shaky. Bummer. Overload. Erratic. Volatile. And specifically, when I asked Catherine this question,
or me, Roxy.
she spelled, you want to read it?
Yes. What? Whisper it. Catherine.
She spelled Catherine. I then said, well, can you expand on this? And she spelled,
Roxy.
unlikely foes are he and I, unreliable body and reliable brain. I said, it's interesting that you refer to your unreliable body as a he. So tell me more about that.
My name is Roxy.
I struggle with boys, so it makes sense that my body is a he. I then said, when you saw the responses of neurotypicals when asked what popped into their minds, when I said the word unreliable, do you think there could be a better, perhaps not so negative, i.e. insert your influence opinion here, mother, term that they could use to describe your body? I think unreliable is an apt word. Some people might apply the word in a negative way, but it is my life. Another way to put it is that you cannot certainly understand what it is like to stay calm when your body does not read your mind.
That's from me, Roxy.
So I went on to say, so would you prefer that neurotypicals use a different word, or does it matter? No matter what, I am not worth the time. And I said, do you have anything else you'd like to share about this? Too many doubt whether I am smart, but I tell you, I reliably am. So here's a little bit of advice I want to throw into you parents out there. If you think that you are definitely not influencing your child, you probably are, right? Like I said, don't you think there should be a different word? I would have never asked that of a student, right? There's just not that level of emotion involved. So be cognizant of the pitfalls of wearing the dual hat of parent and communication partner. If you are ever aware of the possibility and accept that it can and does happen, it won't happen as often. Okay, so here's the bottom line. I had this great idea. I thought it was brilliant. I was going to call out all those nasty neurotypicals
Me, Roxy.
and their opinions about kids like mine. Aha, I said to myself. I said, self, that exercise proved my point.
Hi.
This word unreliable is intrinsically evil.
My name is Roxy.
We, the royal we, must change this. And then Catherine comes along and spells,
my name is Roxy.
I think unreliable is an apt word. It is my life. So here's a little takeaway.
Roxy.
You can thank me later on this one. Don't make assumptions. Ask questions. Give access to whatever your child needs so that she can express herself authentically. This.
They can't even see it.
Yeah, they can.
Why is it not a video?
Can help avoid misunderstandings and frustration that can lead to meltdowns.
My name is Roxy.
This has transformed her life. It has transformed our relationship.
My name is Roxy Sewell.
Do not underestimate the power of this tool. So now our presentation has completely shifted. Kat, love you, mean it.
My name is Roxy.
All right. So now I'd like to just show you a video clip of one of my students. Her name is Peyton. She's 7 years old. She just finished the first grade. The divine Miss P, I like to call her, is working here with one of my colleagues, Alex. She teaches the youngest kids at the Hirsch Academy. They're working on a visual thinking exercise here, where there are only smaller pieces shown to her of a larger whole pictures, and she's working on identifying what those larger images could be. And I chose this video because I believe it speaks to a question that I get asked a lot about talkers like Peyton or like Catherine. Specifically, a woman, she was an educator, came to Hirsch a couple months ago. And after observing a session with me and a student, she was getting a debriefing from Shelley, and she said, so I get why a student would need a letterboard because they can't speak, but she can talk.
Hi, my name is
right?
Roxy
Is
Sewell.
she using a letterboard? So let's take a look.
Where's number 2? What do you see in this box?
Farm.
You see a farm right there? Okay, let's try it here, okay?
Is
Ready? Go
Kaegan
right to your
sweet, Erin?
answer. P, I, go. It's okay, he's just taking a look. Ready? P, I, and go to it. Lift. G, pig. So is this a pig or a farm?
Farm.
Oh, wait. It's a pig. What's that a picture of?
Mouse.
You think that's a mouse?
Yeah.
Okay, it might be. Let's just check here though, okay? Ready? Go right to your answer. Hold on. The letters are shining through from the light, I think. Okay, so wait, what'd you say? This is a
Farm.
You said that was a farm and then you spelled pig, so you were close. You
Wait,
said
want
this
to
was
go
a,
check on your kill? My
That.
name is Roxy.
what's this a picture of?
My name is Roxy Sewell.
Not this one, 3. A picture of a, what's this? You don't know? You want to tell me here? Okay, ready? Go
My
right
name
to
is
it.
Roxy Sewell.
D-I-N-O-S. Lift. A. So you said dinosaur.
Dinosaur.
This is what? What do you see when you look at number 4?
My name is Roxy Sewell.
What is that? You don't know? You want to try to spell it? Okay. Go right to it.
Roxy.
P. I. E. Done. Do you like pie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the letterboard is among the many alternative and augmentative tools that Peyton uses at school when her brain and body are not in sync. Her teacher here worked collaboratively with Peyton, introducing a tool which enabled Peyton to be successful in this activity. She was offered the tools she needed to augment her speech, which then enabled her to demonstrate that she knew what larger images those pieces were part of. All right, so here are some of Catherine's reflections about
Me,
talking.
Roxy's reflections.
She spelled these words after attending a party earlier this year. It was a Mardi Gras party, super fun. Some of you watching here today may have been there. So as soon as Catherine came in the door, she went right up to some of the male adults in the room, some of the dads, she knows, and fell into this loopy script. You might know the one from Oliver Twist, where you have to pretend to be the evil Bill Sykes, and Catherine becomes Nancy, the Dickensian barmaid. And the next morning, I said to Catherine, tell me your thoughts about the party. She spelled, descending into real Scriptville allows me to party when I cannot listen to my brain. I said, yeah, I noticed you got sticky with some of the adults in the room. She spelled, you cannot understand what a struggle it is to be around all that energy messing with my psyche. I then said, well, is there some advice you could give to others that might help you be your more authentic self in a situation such as this? She spelled, warning signs I am stuck are that I say the same thing over and over. She went on to say, I would like people to realize that I may be searching for a commonality between us. Don't fall for it. Talk to me about meaningful things. My script may not stand a chance if you give me something more compelling to consider. But another thing about scripts are really tricky. They are not always escapism or nonsensical. Another one of Catherine's go-tos is Dorothy Gale from The Wizard of Oz. Catherine often will introduce herself to strangers as hello.
My name is Dorothy Gale from Kansas.
Give a little curtsy. But on her 17th birthday, this past January, Catherine reflected. Dorothy's world is like
My
mine,
real name is Roxy.
a friend-filled, colorful dream, gifting me the courage to follow my own yellow brick road. Dorothy did not know what the Emerald City would bring her. She just trusted herself to skip down that road, singing all the way there, connecting with others along the way. Her connections were the compass home, allowing her to grow and leave her childhood fears behind. Her worth was her heart. That is my worth, my pure heart. So when we're talking unreliable speakers, it's important to remember the augmentative part of AAC. Catherine uses a letterboard to support, to augment and enhance her existing speech, and sometimes in a really, really beautiful way. Okay, a little moisture. I wasn't crying, it was just a little something I got in my eye.
Well, hi. Keep it in control, Roxy. Keep it in control, kitty cat.
All right, so now we're going to talk a little bit about some strategies and some supports for unreliable speakers, movers, and shakers. The first up,
Real name is Roxy.
feed the brain. Read, and I mean we mean high level content, poetry. We're talking Shakespeare, Robert Frost, Maya Angelou, podcasts, documentaries, and math. Math is a great scramble. And for playing our unreliable speakers, movers, and shakers game today, for those of you who go on to the resources tab on the innovation site and fill out our feedback form, you will receive our free gift. This is a great rapid fire math called Numbers with Meaning that you can use. You will absolutely love that. I also want to talk about intentions. These are seeds that she plants in her mind that allow her to return to the feelings that she wished to have had instead of whatever her current unreliable
My
body
real name is Roxy.
may project upon her. So recently, she spelled her intention with me before school. She spelled, each reason I have today to be authentic, I clearly will try my damnedest to persevere. And so we wrote that on a piece of paper, put it in her backpack, tied it up with a ribbon, and I went to school with her as a reminder and helped her to feel more in control of her circumstances. And she reflected later that that was helpful. We also did an intention today. I have in my little tool basket over here that she set for herself. To be my authentic self, be present, be me. So that's something that is there as a reminder to keep you grounded and authentic. And it doesn't matter where you are with your communication journey with your child or your students. I mean, an intention could be one word. It could be learn or autonomy or fun, something like that. Next up, body engagers. So a body engager can be described as a relatively small, purposeful motor activity that occupies and calms a person's body in a learning environment, leaving the mind available for learning. Thank you, iask.org, for that beautiful and succinct definition and apt image. Body engagers should compete with whatever might be getting in the way of the availability to learn and to be present. I've got some examples here, like sticker by number books. They make them with big sticker pieces and fewer pieces for younger kids or for those who struggle more with fine motor, up to very intricate, many pieced versions. Tracing keyword sheets. Keywords that are lesson-based, something that you're talking about. I use the ones from the site handwritingpractice.net. It's free, it's downloadable. You can manipulate the size of the lettering, lowercase, uppercase, even cursive.
My name is Roxy.
Word searches are great. For example, we just finished reading The Little Prince in Alex's first and second grade class. A word search of key vocabulary words, readily available via a quick Google search, kept their little bodies busy, circling with pencils or highlighting during longer stints of reading. Lacing cards, keeping it interest and or lesson based will make the activity even more purposeful. For instance, while studying geometric shapes, I would have these available. Hand knitting, this is a good one, awesome body engager. It takes some breaking down of the steps and some practice, but it is the penultimate body engager. Tic-tac-toe. Can't tell you how many times this has saved many a butt at Hirsch.
My name is Roxy.
Needleless crochet. This is a great one. I have some of it right here. Some of my students this is a wonderful, it's the bomb. You can get this yarn at Joann's Fabrics. It's called Bernat's EZ, BERNATZEZ. It's basically a precursor to hand knitting, right? The yarn already has loops built into it, and all you do is pull it through, and you can make all these crazy scarves and all kinds of great
My
things.
name is Roxy Sewell.
Purposeful motor activities. These go a step beyond basic body engagers. Some of my students' favorites are breathing. I've got these great breathing cards here that I've made up. And if anybody's interested, I made these myself. I could send you a template if you email me. We've got our snake breath, our bubblegum breath. Shall we try one?
No, I'm just wanting you to keep reading, Brett. I'm just good.
Let's try one. Let's show everybody. This one is called shape breath. And you can pick a variety of shapes, a triangle, a square, heart. So what you do is you hold everybody try this, see if this kind of helps you.
Hi, welcome, I'm Roxy.
Hold your pointer finger up, facing away from you. All right? Now, as you draw each line of the shape, you're gonna breathe in, and the next line of the shape is out.
Yes.
And in until you finish your shape.
Yes.
So let's start with a triangle.
Yes.
Start at the very top. We're gonna breathe in and go to the bottom right corner. Ready?
Yeah.
And breathe out, left corner. And breathe in, top corner. Nice triangle. How about a square?
Yes.
Start in the upper left hand. Ready? Breathe in, down, over, and up. And my personal favorite,
Yes,
let's do
a
a
heart.
So we're gonna start here. We're gonna go to the right first, and we're gonna take a deep breath in, and go back up here, and yeah. So those are really nice body engagers. When things start to go a little awry, it stops. It's very purposeful. You get some nice oxygen to the brain, nice scramble. So, you know, there's all kinds of things you can do. Touch your toes, touch your head, stick out your tongue. Stick out your tongue. Go get a pencil, go sharpen a pencil. Handwriting, keywords. You have to compete. You have to be more interesting, or as Catherine said, more compelling than that damn script or loop or whatever the body is unwittingly doing at any time, given time. And of course, always have a backup plan. For instance, today, Kat has engaged up here as her backup. a mover and shaker right here with his CP ready to step in the event that Catherine's body is not cooperating with her mind when it's time for the live Q&A. Also, I have my sister here, Catherine's Aunt Kelly, here as a regulation partner to take Catherine out for a walk around the school, or perhaps just give her a little pep talk if need be. Also have other boards, right? You know, I have several different, you know, types of boards available. Most times, Catherine is quite fluent on the laminate board, most times with most communication partners. But sometimes, like when maybe a bunch of friends and strangers from all over the world at an international conference are like hanging on your every word, dysregulation sets in and purposeful poking becomes more challenging. So having 3 boards or a stencil board can give a body a good scramble, slow it down enough to boost that accuracy and fluency. And finally, pre-answered questions is another backup we have. So in the event that neither Catherine nor her peer are able, for whatever reason, to answer live Q&A, I have some questions that parents have asked me in the past that Kat and I deemed relevant to this talk. And she's already pre-answered them, so they're locked and loaded. Ready to go.
Can I read something?
Absolutely.
Let me do it.
Turn the page.
Let me read this.
We're on the next page.
Good.
Here we go. And finally.
No, let me do it. Hi, I'm Roxy. I'm Roxy from the Hirsch Academy. I'm Roxy from the Hirsch Academy.
Thank you, Roxy.
You're welcome.
Always have augmentative and alternative communication tools and options available and accessible. So this one is kind of a joke, right? Who saw this on Stranger Things and like basically flipped out? But it's kind of not. The point is, whatever it takes, you must provide access to tools so that your child can communicate efficiently and effectively in any situation, at any given time, under any given circumstance, even in the upside down. The letterboards, the lovely letterboards, all shapes and sizes, stencils, sensory boards, different colors, a keyboard. Ask your child or student what she prefers. Dark background with light letters, a light background with dark letters. It makes a difference, it matters. And find out what's best. It can change from week to week, even day to day. So really important. Portable dry erase boards with markers. Always have one in your bag, in the car, out with friends. Good old paper and pencil. Don't leave home without them. iPads. I love this Super Keys app that we have on the iPads. It's like $10 and change, and it really works to slow the body down, really forces the student to be more purposeful in her poking. First, what you do is you tap on a group of letters, and then a subgroup of letters comes up. It's kind of like dropping down to the 3 boards versus a 26 board with the stencil boards. Then your choices are fewer, your targets are bigger. Using this app can really help scramble poking loops and can increase accuracy for those who do that speed spell thing. All right.
Welcome.
And last here, I have got a couple of articles, some great articles. One is from a blog portion of Assistive Wear website. They're the makers of the Proloquo for Text and some of the other really groovy AAC devices. The article interviews several unreliable and intermittent speakers. It's presented nice, easy parent speak. And the second one is excellent. It's a more scholarly piece, but it's also very easily digestible.
Hey guys, my name is Roxy Sewell.
All right. So now, Catherine and I would like to know if anyone has any questions for us regarding what we presented here today, or perhaps something else relating to unreliable bodies. We also have with us today Noah Seback, a young man of great moves. to step in if needed. Thank you, Noah, for standing by.
Hi, Noah. My name is Roxy.
So we'll take a look at the chat.
So this is the first question. It's from Jake.
Hi.
And he's asking, can you share the name of the app again that breaks it into groups? He missed it.
Yes, it's called Super Keys, SUPERKEYS.
Okay, fantastic. And this is from
My
Sarah.
name is Roxy.
And she is asking Catherine, what's your favorite subject in school and why do you like it?
Science. I like science.
All right, so I always like to honor Catherine's speech. So finding my pencil, I always have a
And that was reliable.
plethora of them. I just have them right here. Here they are. So she said science.
It's my favorite thing.
But we're going to expand if that truly is, or if you have something else you'd like to spell. Sure.
No, actually, that really is my favorite thing. This is not about me on a board. This is just you talking, right?
Okay, so can you put that in your right hand?
Right.
Catherine's a lefty.
I'm not.
Here we go. Ready? Really science. And tell me why. Tell me more.
Because Steve is so fun.
Because Steve is so fun. Really science. Steve is her science teacher. So much teaching. Much teaching. RELA. So much teaching, all related.
To you. Right there.
All
Hi, Shirley. My name is Roxy.
relating. Many teaching relating to real life. And that is one of the things that your science teacher does best, really takes those high concepts of science and relates them to what's going on around us in our environment.
Hi, Jake. I'm Roxy.
Okay, anything else, Shelley?
Yes, first of all, both of you are getting lots of accolades in the chat. Just, you're incredible, you're awesome, Erin and
Hi,
Catherine.
Roxy.
Great job, Catherine. This was
My real name is Roxy.
there is one question from a parent. Her name is Julie, and she's asking your advice, Catherine. She has a daughter that's 6 years old and who is non-speaking, unreliably speaking, and she wants to ask your advice as to how to support her.
I'll just give her my love, is Roxy.
Give her my love is
That's a good one.
Wait,
let's expand on that.
no, that's just what I want to say.
I
That's
got
my
you.
Roxy love.
Let's go ahead and put that in your left hand. In your right hand, sorry.
Hi, Jakey and Roxy.
Practice on the letterboards.
Practice on the letterboards.
H-E. It will help.
Her.
It will help her. Mhm. 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 It will help her be more reliable.
That's it.
Just finish that up. Mhm. 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 With her speech. Mhm. 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 F after F. O. Mhm. Mhm. M. It did for me. And that, I can attest to that. When Catherine was about
I'm Roxy.
6 or 7, many of you know, there was not very much at all that Catherine spoke that was reliable. And when we discovered the letterboards 5 years ago or so,
Hi, welcome. My name is Roxy.
with all the work that we've done, the reliability of her speech is just exploded with no other types of speech or language interventions. It's just that that practice and getting that brain-body disconnect has just paved the way for more purposeful speech in a huge way.
Are you guys up for some more?
Well, I think, we sure do. I just wanted to have 30 seconds for some final thoughts, but yeah, we're up for it if we've got time.
Okay, I'll just add this one comment. How about that? This is from Nico. He's a speller, and he's saying to both of you, radical presentation, Catherine and Erin.
Hi, my name is Roxy.
Thank you for sharing all your life experiences with us. My life is enriched listening to what you have said.
Thank you. I wonder if that's the same Nico that we talked to in Florida, because we did a little bit of this version to a group in Florida. So thank you, Nico. Okay, so we do have just a couple of just final thoughts here. Let's see. So here I go. I don't know if there's a soapbox anywhere that I can get up, but I'm gonna get up on my soapbox here. Sorry. Ditch your preconceptions who might want or need AAC. Assume it might be useful to anyone. It's worth offering regardless of how you perceive their verbal abilities. Let your kids know that there are many ways of communication besides speech. They have a right to explore any of them. And Catherine's closing.
I'm Roxy.
Would you like to read this? Would you like
Yes, I would love to read it as Roxy. Start reliably relieving in your kids. If you don't, can anyone else?
Thank you.
No, let me sit here, wait.
Don't forget the
No, let me wait.
feedback form for your free gift.
Wait, let
What do
me
you want to
just.
say? Anything?
Hi, this is Roxy. I'm really Roxy Sewell.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Roxy. Thank you. I'm from a Hirsch Academy. Thank you. I'm Roxy.